People, que pasa, sapa, say what they do. Now, the first thing that is popping in the news is about an incident that occurred in a place called Ketch. We're speaking about Montego Bay, St. James, to be specific. And based on the information, this is an incident that occurred at about 11:20. We are talking about yesterday in the morning. And based on the information, it is said that one man was slapped away, and his name is Renor Anderson, and he is said to be 24-year-old. And the two suspects that were caught by the Popo, we are speaking about some top-tier gangster. We are talking about some shooter from Montego Bay. We are speaking about suspect number 1, Toussaint Lewis, OC Dada. Suspect number 2, Andre Reed, OC Little Zulus. And both of these men were wanted in separate places. We are speaking about in the West and also St. James. So people, we see that 2 people are off the road that have been creating all sorts of havoc and catastrophe. So anyways, people, based on the information from the Popo, it is said that Mr. Renor Anderson, he was watching a stall for a friend of his in St. Catherine Hall when he was pounced upon by some men in a Nissan Note. We are speaking about 4 men, and it is said that he received several rounds of con. We are talking about inner him head and also upper body. And based on the information from the Popo, it is said that the Popo was on the scene. We are speaking about the quick response team. Now, people, when you talk about Kingston, we are speaking about the specialized operation branch. And when we speak about Montego Bay, we are speaking about the QRT. We are speaking about the quick response team. It is said they were in the vicinity and heard the loud explosions. And when they roll up on the scene, they saw the men in the Nissan Note sped off, and people are chased ensued. And it is said that after the men tried to take with themselves in the Nissan Note, they basically crashed into a car. And people, when them crashed in the car, they came out of the vehicle and they started to blaze up some con on the Popo. And it is said that the Popo returned the con on people. After the smoke cleared, it is said those 2 men, we are speaking about Mr. Reed and we are also speaking about Mr. Lewis, they were found clutching on some tool and basically wounded. We are speaking about on the job. Now, people, based on the information from the Popo, it is said that one of those men, when they tried to escape and realized that they were backed up, they tried to hold the elderly lady. We are speaking about hostage. However, the Popo caught him up, and the elderly lady, she was okay, point blank and period. So based on the information, it is said that after the Popo started to chase the car and they realized that they couldn't get away because they crashed into a parked vehicle, it is said that all 4 men in the car went left, right, center, all over the place to try to escape from the Popo. However, 2 of them were captured. Now, people, what is startling about the whole situation is that both of those men that were captured are said to be top-tier gangster, one from Montego Bay and the next one from West. We are talking about Westmoreland. And it is said that they were both released under the state of emergency because people, we know that the state of emergency recently ended. So people, we are speaking about some serious criminals that were locked up under the state of emergency. However, because the state of emergency ended, people, they were on the loose and they were committing all sorts of crime, all sorts of atrocity. Because based on the information from the Popo, it is also said that one of those men, or both of those men, were also persons of interest in an incident in which somebody was slapped away maybe about 2 weeks ago. And people, what is even more mind-boggling is the fact that both of these men, like I said, are persons of interest, and both of them are said to be top-tier gangsters in the West and also Montego Bay. And it is said that they were both before the court for charges including slap away, illegal possession of firearm, and also some other violent crime. So people, we are speaking about a set of crime producers that have been creating all sorts of havoc and catastrophe. In the era, we are speaking about a menace to society, point blank and period. And also based on information, it is said that both of these men were reporting to different courts on condition of bail. So people, we are speaking about some hardened criminal that seems to don't learn their lesson, because each time them get a chance, they go out on the free world and they are doing the same thing over and over. So people, like them say, who can hear, they will feel. And also, based on a report from the P0L, it is said that all 3 persons were taken to the Cornwall Regional Hospital. We are speaking about Mr. Anderson. He did not make it. We are speaking about the person that got conned up in his head and also in his upper body. And the both suspects, they were also taken to the place of recovery, and they are under heavy P0L guard. Now, people, whenever we see any sort of case like this, we realize that there are several vehicles of choice as it pertains to the criminal elements. We are speaking about vehicles such as Nissan Tiida. We are talking about Probox. We are talking about AD Wagon. We are speaking about Axia. In this case, we are speaking about a Nissan Note. Now, people, I don't know if it is a law of average, and it seems as if every time there's any sort of incident in Jamaica, it seems as if these criminal elements are always driving one of those vehicles. I don't know if it is popular, or I don't know if it is coincidence. People, let me know what you think in the comment section. The next thing that I also realize that whenever these gunmen and the P0L engage in any sort of battle, people, the advantage always goes to the P0L. We are speaking about the P0L is batting 100%, and it seems that if they shot at, they cannot shoot. And the next thing that I realize whenever it comes to these gunmen in Jamaica, it seems as if whenever they come under any sort of pressure and they are to take away themselves, it seems like them always crashing at some immovable object. We are talking about a wall, we are talking about a building, or even worse, them always crashing at some park car. So people, one other thing that we've learned about these shotters, they cannot shoot and they cannot drive. And I don't know if it is coincidence, however, it seems to always happen. Point blank and period. Now, people, when we also think about the fact that 2 out of the 4 men that were captured from this Nissan Note, they were locked up under the state of emergency. Now, people, isn't it kind of inconvenient or convenient the fact that the state of emergency ended just before the election? So, people, we have to ask the question, why did the government implement the state of emergency? And they claim that it was working so well, but conveniently, as the election is to keep, we are speaking about on the 3rd of September 2020, them stop the state of emergency. So people, the moral of the story is that it seems that if the government, they are using things whenever it works on their behalf. However, as it pertains to the election, they know that if they have persons locked up in a them community, they were going to get less vote. They are going to basically tick these people off. So therefore, what they did what is going to be beneficial to their winning, to their victory. Point blank and period. Now, people, the moral of the story in all of this is that we saw that 4 assailants went on a move. However, 2 of them got captured and 2 took for themselves. And also, a next man, we are speaking about 24-year-old Renard Anderson. He also lost his life. And people, I don't know the backstory as it pertains to Mr. Anderson. I don't know if he's also a suspect. I don't know if he's also a gunman. However, people like them say wherever there is smoke, there is fire. So therefore, something might be into something. So people, I don't know if he was on the spot and somebody called them. We are talking about Spot a Lion, call his assailant, but obviously they knew who they went for, and people, they did their job and they tried to escape. However, it did not work out too well for 2 out of 4 of them. So people, at the end of the day, we are speaking about at least 2 very dangerous assailants. They are now in the custody of the P0L, and also based on the information, it is said that the P0L also recovered at least 2 or 1 of those tools that were used in the slap away of Mr. Anderson. So people, at the end of the day, we can just hope that these 2 persons that were captured basically give the P0L some information and them can catch the other 2. And based on the fact that it is also said that at least 1 or 2 of those tools that were used in the incident was captured or recovered, people, we hope that this is an open and shut case as it pertains to a conviction for these persons. However, like I said, we can hope for the best and kind of expect the worst because we know how the justice system in Jamaica works. They are very good at fumbling. We are speaking about easy cases. We are talking about cases that are easy like 1, 2, 3. So anyways, people, that is my views on the whole thing as it pertains to that. And like I say, it is just my views and opinion. It is not the gospel. Your views and opinion can be respectfully different from mine. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Bless up. Now, before I move to the next part of my video, please subscribe to my next channel. It is called Jamaica Dancehall Source, and I'll be pinning the link to that channel in the description of this video. And also, please subscribe to this channel. We're speaking about True Jamaica Buzz, and when you subscribe, please press the notification bell or icon, and also press all in the option. Now, the next thing that is popping in the news, and people, this is very coincidental, because that incident that occurred in Ketch we are speaking about St. James, Montego Bay, happened at about 11:20, and people, at about 12 o'clock, we saw that the superintendent of Popo in St. James, I am speaking about a person whose name is Vernon Ellis, he was bragging and boasting, saying that the St. James Popo has captured most of the men that are wanted in the top 10 we are speaking about in the parish. And he said that the murder rate has basically fallen. We are speaking about for 2020. It is now at 78. And people, he is basically sending out a warning. He is sending out a message to all his gunmen out there that your chances of basically escaping are minimal. It is very low. So therefore, if you know that you're a violence producer, you need to give in yourself. You basically need to turn in yourself to the Popo. So people, take a listen, take a look to exactly what he had to say, and then let me know what you think in the comment section. Bless up.
And a serious campaign targeting some of the parishes most wanted, and the result, we saw most of the top 10 persons either meeting their demise or being captured and are being held in custody.